I wake up, I feel cozy, yeah. Can you hold up? Don't need no coffee yet. Got no makeup. How do you look so fine? Bust up, bust up. How did I make you mine? Stay a minute, another minute. Hold on a second.
This is my disclaimer. I'm not a doctor. I'm not trained medically. I'm not a physician. I'm not telling you what to do, even though I use some phrasing that might imply I'm telling you what to do. I'm just telling you what I've done on my journey. I'm giving you some warnings, but you need to do your own research and check with your physician to make sure that any of the things that I'm recommending for constipation can work for you safely.
Good morning, ninjas. Welcome to my home. Welcome to Princess Ninja and Keto. Welcome to my channel. Instead of a daily vlog on Saturdays, I'm going to start doing a playlist if you're new to keto. Today, we're going to be talking about constipation. My name is Melanie, and I have been doing keto for a little over 2 years. I don't have a gallbladder, so constipation has definitely been an issue for me. Now, if you are squeamish, this is an adult conversation that we are having. I'm going to talk about what products I used to help with the constipation. I'm going to give you some warnings, and I'm going to tell you a little bit of information about these products and show you photographs. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you're new here, go ahead and comment below, say hello, let me know who you are and where you're from, where you found my video. All right, so today the theme of Princess Ninja and Keto is going to be what to do if you're constipated. Are you new to keto? Okay, so let's start one at a time. If you're new to keto, the reason you are constipated is not because keto is bad for you. It is because the microbiome in your stomach has to switch from being able to digest a lot of fibrous foods, carbohydrates, to digesting fats and proteins. This process can take 6 to 8 weeks for the microbiome in your stomach to switch. Don't expect that this is going to be a process that happens overnight. It's a process that happens over 6 to 8 weeks. One of the biggest side effects that people notice, other than the keto flu, when they come to keto, is that they notice either one of two things. Either you're going to get diarrhea or constipation, one of the two. It wouldn't matter what diet you were on. Anytime you switch diets where you are making a dramatic change in the types and sources of foods that you're eating, the bacteria in your stomach has to make that change as well. And that's the beautiful thing about the body. The beautiful thing about the body will make that change, but sometimes the adjustment can take a while. So for myself, without a gallbladder, I noticed instantaneously that I had issues with constipation, which means some days I go 4 or 5 days without going to the bathroom. Now, sometimes that's normal because your body is utilizing more of the nutrients. If you're eating a bunch of garbage, if you're eating a bunch of keto treats, you've got a lot of ingredients in there your body doesn't even know what to do with. So they could get a little bit more complicated, but when you are living, it is normal when you are living a very clean journey that your body's using the majority of the food. Because keto helps reduce your hunger and appetite, you're eating less food. So sometimes that can, just because you haven't gone in 2 days doesn't necessarily mean that it's a constipation thing that you have to fix. Where I tell people is when you haven't gone, number 2, and it starts becoming uncomfortable. If you have any kind of symptoms, if your stomach feels bloated or extended, you feel kind of like you've got a rock in your stomach, if you're having gas, if it's painful when you do pass a movement, then you definitely need to do something about it. So my best tips for you is number 1, MCT oil. MCT is a medium chain triglyceride. What makes this fat different than any other fat is that it is instantaneously available for your body to use as energy. That's why most keto YouTubers in the beginning, if they do fat coffee, they use MCT oil, and then they use an emulsifier, or they use some kind of, they mix it in, and it gives the coffee a creamy taste. I buy the stuff that tastes like coconut because I love coconut. The other thing is you don't have to specifically buy this. You can buy like Dr. Bronner's unrefined coconut oil, and put a teaspoon of that. That is also MCT. So it's derived from coconuts. So anyway, my warning on MCT oil is just make sure that you only do a teaspoon at first, and make sure that you're in a situation where if your stomach adversely reacts to this new ingredient, that you don't find yourself in a bad spot. So make sure that you're trying this on a day where you're at home, you're near a bathroom, you know, you don't have any like events to go to or people coming over, because that could get embarrassing. The next item I want to talk about is Soleil Water. Soleil Water, you are going to hear so much about Soleil. All Soleil Water is filtered or, you know, purified water that you're going to put in a glass or plastic jar with a glass or plastic lid, and it is going to be concentrated with salt, mineral salt. And I pour about 1 inch of salt in the bottom of a baby food jar, and then I top it off with filtered water. Let it sit on the counter at room temperature for 24 hours. When you come back to that jar, if you can still see salt crystals, then that means that every single molecule of that water has now been saturated with sodium. We've been taught for so long that sodium is bad for you, but on the ketogenic diet is a anti-inflammatory. It's a very dehydrating type of nutrition plan. So keeping your salts up is very important. But Soleil Water can also help you go number 2. I'm just warning you that if it's your first time doing Soleil Water, start out small. I would recommend getting a medicine dropper and just doing a few drops in some water. They also make items like Keto Chow electrolyte drops. I have Keto Light electrolyte drops. All of those things are going to help you go to the bathroom. But if you've never tried them before, you're going to want to start slow because they can be explosive. The other thing you want to look at if you don't have a gallbladder is potentially taking ox bile, because ox bile is a concentrated bile that helps break down food. It's a digestive enzyme. So if you don't have a gallbladder, okay, so what basically the gallbladder does is the gallbladder, every time you eat or drink, your body produces bile, right, on demand. But the gallbladder is a storage compartment for that bile, for any excess bile that's been created. It goes to the gallbladder. And what happens is it ferments and it gets super, super strong. So if you ate a 9-ounce sirloin steak, your regular bile that would be produced would help digest it, but it's kind of like a super bile, if you will, coming from the gallbladder. And so if you don't have a gallbladder and you are on the ketogenic, your primary source of nutrients is fat and protein, which means you need that concentrated bile, or you could have some discomfort and digestive issues. Now, when I'm talking about this, my disclaimer is not everybody. Some will have these issues. So if you are looking for this video, then you're probably someone who's having these issues, and I hope this is beneficial to you. All right. The third thing I want to talk to you about is magnesium. Magnesium is awesome for being able to go to the bathroom. I use a supplement called BEST, B-E-S-T, magnesium, which is a couple of different types of magnesium. Magnesium can also help you go to the bathroom, but the type of magnesium specifically to help get things moving is called magnesium citrate. There is a brand called Calm Magnesium. It comes in a raspberry lemon flavor, which is my favorite. That if you put a tablespoon of that in 8 ounces of water and let the foam, it'll foam up really big, so don't fill the glass all the way up, just saying. It'll foam up, you let it foam up, you let it clear. Once the water becomes clear, you drink it. It tastes like a raspberry lemonade. So if you wanted to put ice over it, that would work too. and you sip on that. But once again, magnesium citrate is something that if you've never had it before, you want to do it in the evening. You want to do it where you're close to a bathroom, and you want to give yourself a couple of hours just in case your body reacts to this new supplement. I think 1 tablespoon or 1 scoop of the Calm Magnesium is like 450 milligrams of magnesium, and it'll get things moving pretty quickly. So there's one last item. So to combat constipation and bathroom issues, I have also used a tea called Smooth Move. This tea is made with a specific tea leaf, but usually that takes a little while to work. And so you definitely want to keep that in mind. If you have a glass of this Smooth Move tea after dinner, you want to keep in mind that the next morning you're probably going to be looking for a bathroom. So don't do it the night before you go to a theme park or the night before you have to do a wedding or anything like that. The Smooth Move kind of tastes a little bit like licorice, and I hate licorice, but it's okay. It's not too bad, but it does. That's what it reminds me of, is black licorice. That's all I've got. Stay hydrated. Stay hydrated. Add some fibrous foods. Add avocado. Add, some psyllium husk. That is fiber. I mean, you can add things like that when you're making keto breads, keto baked treats. You can eat some celery, make yourself little green salads, whatever you're doing on keto. You can pick up your fiber content a little bit when you run into problems going to the bathroom. But the Soleil Water, the MCT oil, the magnesium citrate, and the Smooth Move tea is what I've used throughout my journey. But adding the ox bile, because I don't have a gallbladder, was a game changer for me. So yeah, when I'm eating a very heavy protein meal. I hope this information has been helpful to you. Go ahead, if you're new to my channel, and hit subscribe, hit the thumbs up button, don't forget the notification bell, and go ahead and leave me a comment and let me know how you found this video. If you have any tips or tricks on beating constipation on keto, go ahead and leave them in the comments below. Don't be embarrassed. We're all adults here, and it's all about a healthy journey, right? It's all about a healthy journey. So you guys have a fantastic day, and I'll see you at my next video.